What if your body is actually speaking to you, but we're too busy to hear it? Not with pain, not with a loud voice, but with small signs. Hello, friends. Wherever you are today, take a moment. Take a deep breath. This video isn't about fear. It's not about the end. It's about mindfulness, awareness, and life. As we age, our bodies work in a gentler way. Sometimes we feel tired for no reason. Sometimes our breathing feels different. Sometimes our thoughts slow down. Sometimes the nights feel longer. These aren't enemies. These are messages. Messages that ask us to walk more slowly and listen more deeply. This isn't about being weak. It's about being wise. It's not about being afraid of change. It's about accepting it with awareness. The body in old age is like a treasured book that has been read many times. Every page is full of stories. Every mark is full of meaning. And a good book is worth reading slowly. Life is not measured by speed. Life is measured by the depth of attention. And old age is the best time to give that attention. Let's listen to our bodies with a calmer heart. Let's nurture today with awareness. Because every breath is a gift, and every day is an opportunity. Stay with us. This journey has just begun. Imagine a quiet morning. Sunlight slowly streams in through the window. Birds sing softly. And the world seems to be going on as usual. But today, my body feels a little different. Not sick. Not aching. Just a tiredness that's hard to describe. Like a battery that's still on. But not as fully charged as usual. Hello friends. Wherever you are in the world. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. This video wasn't created to scare you. Not to make you anxious, but to accompany you with respect. Because every age has its own beauty. And old age is a time of wisdom, serenity, and meaning. Before we dive in, if you find videos like this soothing, providing gentle reminders, and making you feel accompanied, please support this channel by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Your support helps us continue to provide heartwarming stories, simple information, and life inspiration that's friendly to all ages. Thank you. Your presence means a lot. Today, we'll begin this journey with the first sign. The most common sign, the most overlooked sign, and the most commonly dismissed sign. This is simply due to age. In fact, the body never speaks without reason. It simply chooses to speak in a gentle way. There was an elderly man who watered the plants in his yard every morning. It didn't take long. It wasn't strenuous. It was a small routine that made his heart happy. But one morning, he stopped in the middle of the yard. Not because he felt dizzy, not because he felt short of breath, but because his body was saying, "Wait, I need a break." And that break felt different than usual. Our bodies in old age are like a treasured classic car. It wasn't built for racing. It was built for quiet, beautiful rides. If the engine starts to sound quieter, it's not a sign of damage, but rather a sign that it needs more gentle care. Fatigue is the sound of that engine. Fatigue that needs attention is fatigue that comes on suddenly, doesn't match activity, doesn't improve with rest, makes light activities feel heavy. This isn't a diagnosis. It's not the end of the story. It's just a small reminder that the body is working extra hard behind the scenes. And a body that's working extra hard deserves attention, not ignored. Regular fatigue is normal, but fatigue that feels different deserves attention. Listening to your body is a form of compassion. There's no need to panic. There's no need to be afraid. Just be more sensitive. The elderly body is like an old friend. It's been with us through a lot. It doesn't like to be yelled at. It doesn't like to be pushed. If it says, "I'm tired today," the best response isn't, "Let's be a little stronger," but, "Okay, let's rest together." Old age isn't about diminishing. Old age is about filtering out what's truly important. And one of the greatest wisdoms is knowing when to move on and when to pause. The wisest person is not the busiest, but the one who is most able to listen to themselves. Imagine an afternoon. The sun is slowly setting. The air is cool. You sit quietly, breathe slowly, and your body feels a little lighter because you listened today. And remember, your body always gives you signs long before it's truly exhausted. Because each day lived with awareness is the simplest form of love for life. Next, we'll discuss something very simple, something we do thousands of times every day, but rarely pay attention to. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale slowly. It feels natural, doesn't it? But sometimes, the breath no longer feels like an old friend, but like an uninvited guest. Breathing is a sign of life. It works without our awareness, day and night, without a break. And precisely because it's always there, we often forget to listen to it. Second sign, breathing feels different. Imagine you're sitting in your favorite chair. Not walking, not doing any strenuous activity, but suddenly, your breath feels shorter. It's not painful shortness of breath. It's not a loss of breath, just a feeling like, it's not usually like this. Breath is like the wind that moves the sails of a boat. If the wind is steady, the boat sails smoothly. However, if the wind changes direction, it doesn't mean the boat is damaged. It's just a sign that we need to adjust the sails. The body does the same. In older age, different breaths can appear as easily gasping for breath when talking, feeling shorter than usual, chest discomfort, not pain, needing to pause during light activity. Again, this isn't meant to scare you. It's simply body language asking for more attention. Changed breath isn't the enemy. It's a gentle message. Listening to it is a form of wisdom. Not all change is dangerous, but all change is worth listening to. There was an elderly person who liked to sing softly while preparing a warm drink. One day, her song stopped mid-note. She smiled and said, "Today's breath asks me to sing more softly," and she sat down. Inhaled slowly, enjoying the pause. That's a little wisdom that's often forgotten. Breath in old age is like a polite guest. If it asks for a chair, give it a chair. If it asks for a break, give it a break. There's no need to argue. There's no need to force it. Life isn't a race to see who's fastest. Life is a journey to be enjoyed at one's own pace. And the breath is the indicator of that rhythm. Listening to the breath is a simple way to say to yourself, I care about you. Imagine you're walking slowly in a park. The leaves are moving gently. The cool air touches your face. Each inhalation is a small gift. Each exhalation is a release. We've already recognized the second sign. Breath that feels different than usual. And remember, the body always gives signals in very subtle ways, because a life listened to is a life cared for. Next, we'll discuss something invisible to the eye, but deeply felt within. It's not about the body. It's not about the breath. It's about the mind. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why does my mind feel a little different today? The human mind is like the sky. Sometimes it's clear. Sometimes it's cloudy. The clouds aren't the problem. They're just a sign that the sky is changing. And small changes in the mind are often not a big deal, but a subtle message that needs to be heard. Third sign, the mind feeling different. This sign often appears very subtly. It's not a major forgetfulness. It's not a major confusion. It's small things like difficulty focusing on a conversation, momentary confusion about time or place. Words seem difficult to come out, thoughts seem slower than usual. Often we laugh and say, maybe I'm just tired, and that's not always wrong. But still, it's worth paying attention to. Imagine the mind is like a treasured old radio. Sometimes the sound is clear. Sometimes it's a little noisy. It's not because the radio is broken, but because the signal changes. And when that happens, we don't throw the radio away. We just reset it. As we age, small changes in the mind can occur. Because the body is working harder, energy flow, oxygen, and rest all play a role. This isn't to be alarmist. It's an invitation to be gentler with ourselves. A slowed mind isn't a failure. A little confusion isn't a weakness. Listening to change is wisdom. We aren't measured by how quickly we think, but by how deeply we understand ourselves. There was an elderly man who loved to flip through the pages of his favorite book. One day, he read the same page over and over again. He smiled and said, "I think my mind wants me to read slower today." And he sat longer, savoring every word, without rushing. That's the art of living in old age. The elderly mind is like a wise old friend. It doesn't like to be chased. If chased, it runs away. If invited to sit back, it comes. Old age isn't about remembering everything. It's about choosing what's truly important. And sometimes, slowing down is the mind's way of inviting us to enjoy life more deeply. Imagine sitting by a lake. The water is calm. The reflection of the sky is soft. The mind is the same. It calms when given space. We've discussed the third sign. Small changes in thought and awareness. And remember, the mind always gives signals in the most subtle ways. Because understanding yourself is the deepest form of love. Next, we'll discuss something that often comes when the world becomes quiet and the lights begin to dim. Nighttime. A time when the body should be resting. But sometimes it feels different. Night is an old friend. It comes quietly, bringing a chance to recover, but sometimes the night gives small signs that we want to listen to more gently. Sign 4. Sleep feels different. This sign often appears silently. Difficulty sleeping even though the body is tired. Waking up in the middle of the night sweating, sleep feels unrefreshing. Feeling restless for no apparent reason. This isn't a scary story. It's simply body language speaking when we're still. Sleep is like refilling a lantern. If the lantern isn't fully charged, the light remains, but it's not as bright as usual. And a dim lantern doesn't need to be scolded. It just needs time and attention. In old age, sleep changes can be a sign that the body is adjusting. The body's rhythms change, needs change, and that's not a mistake. The important thing is not to ignore them for too long. Sleep is part of self-care. Small changes are worth paying attention to. Listening to your body is a form of self-compassion. There's no need to panic. There's no need to be afraid. Just be present and caring. There was an elderly person who prepared a warm drink every night before bed. One night, she woke up and felt sweaty. She sat up, took a deep breath, and said to herself, "My body wants me to listen to it tonight." And she gave herself time. The body at night is like a child. If it's uncomfortable, it will wake us, not to bother us, but to ask for company. Old age isn't about counting down the days. It's about appreciating each day. The signs we've discussed aren't threats. They're gentle reminders. A reminder to slow down, care more, love yourself more, because life isn't measured by its length, but by the depth of attention we give it. We've completed the 4 signs. They're not to be feared. They're not to be anxious about. They're to be understood. May your days be filled with calm breaths, peaceful thoughts, and warm hearts. The 4 signs discussed in this video are not a guarantee that an elderly person will die suddenly. These signs are not a verdict, nor are they a prediction. They are warning signals from the body, like a small light on a car dashboard. The light doesn't mean the car is about to break down, but rather a signal that the body is requesting more attention. Many older adults experience one or even several of these signs, and continue to live healthy, active, and fulfilling lives. The most important thing is, be more sensitive to changes in your body. Don't ignore small signals. Be brave enough to rest and seek help when needed with attention, care, and family support. These signs can actually be the beginning of a more conscious, calmer, and better quality life. This video is not meant to scare you, but rather to remind you in a gentle and caring way. Every day is a precious opportunity. Our bodies speak quietly. Our job is simply to listen with love. If you're still here at this moment, let us sincerely say one thing. Thank you. Not everyone takes the time to listen to their body. Not everyone makes space for themselves. And your presence here is a sign that you care about the life you've lived so meaningfully. Have you ever thought that old age isn't the end of the road, but rather the place where life speaks most honestly? At this age, the body no longer screams, it only whispers. And the wise person is the one who listens to that whisper. Today, we've talked about signs. Not to scare, not to make you anxious, but to gently remind you that the body is always trying to take care of us. That small changes are not the enemy, and that simple attention can be the most sincere form of love. There's nothing wrong with slowing down. There's nothing wrong with resting. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. That's precisely where wisdom grows. Imagine a quiet afternoon. The sun's rays are setting slowly. The air feels peaceful. You sit comfortably, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, I'm still here, and that's a gift. Old age isn't about loss. Old age is about appreciating what's still here. There's still breath. There's still feeling. There's still a story to share. And every day lived with awareness is a day worth living. There's no need to be strong all the time. Just be true to yourself. If this video gave you companionship, if these words brought you comfort, or reminded you to be gentler with yourself, please hit the like button. Share this video with your loved ones, with family, with friends. Don't forget to subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss our next warm message. And we'd love to hear from you too. Please leave a comment below. Tell me how you're feeling today. Just one sentence is enough. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you. May your days be filled with calm, easy breathing, and a peaceful heart. Until we meet again. Take care of yourself with love.